Okay, guys, I'm here with Jimmel Chambers, and I am going to interview him. And he is currently a biology teacher. And Jimmel, what school do you teach at, and what is the grade?
Uplift Peak Preparatory, ninth grade, and I teach biology.
Okay, do you believe that is a good school, or why not?
I believe that every school could be a great school. It depends on the individuals that you have at the school. If they're passionate to not be teachers but educators, not educating the kids just on the subject but also on life, then I believe any school could be a great school.
What do you find challenging or rewarding about being a teacher?
Reaching beyond the subject that I teach, showing the kids that there's something better than what they're doing right now in the situations that they're in. So for me, I got into education not to teach so much as the subject of biology, which is study of life, but I also wanted to allow my life to be a living example of what it means to show the proper life skills on how to develop to become that strong young man or that strong young woman or that strong individual for the future, because many might not believe it, but our generation today are going to be the ones that's taking care of us. And I want to make sure that I'm being put in the proper hands. So I want to train them now.
Okay. Have you ever thought about changing your career?
No. This is what I decided to get into. This actually was what I considered my second and final career. And I got into this for a purpose, is to make sure that I can improve on the generations to come. So no, that's not an option.
Okay. What is different from this school that was different in the school that you used to go to when you were a little kid?
The school I go to right now is a college preparatory school. And literally, when I was in college, we probably had advisors. Well, not probably, but we did have an advisor, but it wasn't an advisor that more so was telling us the different colleges and requirements and things of that nature. But this college actually helps and guides juniors and seniors with their recommendation letters, getting them from different teachers and starting with that process, starting them filling out for different grants and scholarships. And they're required to do community service hours in order to graduate, a certain amount of community service hours. In order to graduate, also, they have to be accepted by a university or college or university. So this one pushes past secondary education and making sure and guaranteeing that these kids have the opportunity to have post-secondary career, because a lot of them are coming from underprivileged, low-income families.
What would you change about the school? Is there something that you would like to change about the school?
If I can change anything about the school, mainly it would be for me is that I do believe that the system is starting to uh, try to keep the kids from, and I hope I'm saying this politically correct because my heart is in this, keep the kids from failing by making it easier for them. I'll give you an example. They have a grading policy where they can get the lowest grade they can ever get is a 60. For me, that sets up a bad precedence in life, because if you do no work or you don't do any work, guess what? You don't get any grade. If you don't go to work on a daily basis, you don't get any pay. So what you put into the system is what you put out. It's just like anything else. For every action, there's a reaction. So if I could change anything, I would change that policy of making this generation feel like that they don't have to do anything just to be average.
So really, you're saying that it's setting them up for failure.
I do believe that it's not leading them in the right pathway, and it can be setting them up for failure, because the real world's nothing like what this particular high school, at least this year, is trying to do. I think everything you do in high school should be vertically aligned as much as possible to college, just like college is vertically aligned to the real world. post-college years. I'll give you an example. I mean, when you go to college, they usually you walk into college, they're going to give you a syllabus, and it's up to you on that syllabus. At least for my years, it's up to you to make sure that you know what that syllabus says, and that you get the information. You know when the test is, you know when quizzes are, you know when homework is due, whatever it may be. Because in college, you're not taking attendance. If you're not there, so be it. You lost out, and you accept the grade that you get because you get what you earn. You're not giving grades, you earn grades. Yeah. So, yes, I mean, it can set them up for failure because it's not vertically aligned with the real world.
Okay, so in this school, have you met a student who you said who gave you like a significant impact on being a teacher?
Several students have, which I am overly happy about, is that several students would just tell them that they like the fact that I encouraged them, or they like the fact that I stayed hard on them, or things of that nature. I mean, this is one of my first freshmen come back to me and will tell me that I remind them of their father or whatever it may be, and those moments are good moments because it lets me see that they see me beyond being their biology teacher. I am actually making an impact on their life.
Okay. What do you wish you knew now? Well, you know now that you wish that you knew on the first day. What is something that you know now that you wish that you knew on the first day?
That's a great question. Something that I know now that I wish I knew on the first day.
Mm-hmm.
All honesty, I wish I knew that there were politics in education. And yes, we know it deals with politics, going up to the federal government. But what I mean by is I wish I knew that a lot of times we're not forcing kids to fail, but I shouldn't be trying to hit certain numbers in order to make sure the kids don't fail. You can redirect the child so many times, give them extra credit. You can give them, extend deadlines after extended deadlines. But after they don't meet that, being put in a position where I have to give them something that they didn't earn, or keeping it at a certain failure rate when I'm not the one giving them that, I'm giving them what they earn. I wish I would have known that the politics was still involved, that corporate America mindset was kind of involved in education.
Okay. So what are you trying to be better at as a teacher? What are some things that you can improve on?
My differentiation in teaching. My first year is coming into teaching. Being that I came from a strict lecture style format where the teacher basically spoke about the subject you're talking about for the day or the topic, and we just wrote notes. I wanted to get away from that. They have now what's called a IB curriculum, where we want to let it be more of the student-led type of instruction. And if I could change anything, that's one thing that is big for me, is to make sure, and I'm hoping I'm staying on track with this question.
Yeah.
To make sure that I allow the kids to interact more, because this is a different generation. It's a different generation, so you got to be able to differentiate how you teach. Some people just don't learn by you just saying it. They have to actually do it. Some people are auditory, some people are kinesthetic, and others learn by seeing it. And we just got to be able to know the difference between the two and have it in our lesson plan at all times, how we can reach all the different learners.
How do you want your students to remember you?
As a caring, God-fearing person who, in everything I did for them, whether it was good and made them happy, or it made them mad at the time. They knew I did it in the midst to make them better. Um, because I'll tell you this, the cycle of life, the way it goes, a person can get a cut on their arm, and that cut will heal back naturally. And I want kids to understand that there's going to be some pains in life, and you might not understand what I did at that time, and why couldn't I boost you up 3 points just to help you pass, even though I gave you time after time. But I want them to know that everything I did was to make them better. They might not seen it at that moment, but hopefully later down the line they'll see that everything I did was to pretty much improve who they are as a person and their work ethic.
Okay, thank you so much for this interview. I really enjoyed asking these questions, and I hope that you guys get some type of insight on being a wonderful teacher like Jimmel Chambers is. Thank you.